In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 rules that you heard about email marketing that you should break. I'm Jason Resnick of NurtureKit, NurtureKit.co, and look, I am admitting it to you right now that you're going to hear some rules in here that you should break that you've heard me say as well. And while I'm not suggesting you break them for the sake of being a rebel without a cause, what I am suggesting to you is that there is a time and place for everything. And as you email your list and your subscribers, you learn about what they like and dislike. And so some of these rules, yes, they are meant for general rules when it comes down to your email marketing. As I said, everything has a time and place, and you should treat your email list like humans, and humans adapt and humans behave in certain ways. So these rules that you hear, you may want to consider breaking. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to share with you the one rule that I consistently break. And speaking of consistency, that's rule number 1. You've got to be consistent. The problem with being consistent is that you end up emailing at times for the sake of being consistent, being on time. You're essentially just contributing to the noise at that point. People start to zone out if you start to phone it in too much. If it doesn't provide the value that they expect, well, you do that 2, 3, 4 more times, you're actually training your audience, your subscribers, to ignore you. You don't want to be predictable maybe. Try this instead. Email only when you are inspired to, meaning that you actually have something valuable to say. Don't email just because you said that you would. Rule number 2, only one call to action per email. Treat your audience, your subscribers, your individual human beings on your list as though that they are smart enough to handle multiple links in an email. The more call to actions or calls to actions or CTAs, whatever the plural is, the more that you actually have in there for somebody to choose, well, that creates a level of engagement with somebody on the other end that you might have not had before. Case in point, you send out a blog post. Maybe it's also a podcast or a YouTube video. Well, now you start to learn based off of the clicks that are in there. Oh, this person likes to read audio or likes to hear audio versus reading a blog post. Or this person likes to view videos. Give them multiple links. So where appropriate, try this instead. Rule number 3, plain text emails only. The deliverability says that the more stuff, the more images, the more links, the more fonts and colors and everything else that you put into an email, it's actually going to hurt your deliverability and landing into the inbox. There's science to that. There's data to that. However, we are humans. If you just have a plain text email, literally plain text with no personality in there, that might fall flat. Put in a little bit of your branding. Maybe your font colors, maybe changing up the font itself. These are ways that you can inject your personality, your brand into emails and not be so plain. So try this instead. Send emails with great content, but maybe change up how they look. Inject images into it. Maybe GIFs apply or screenshots of a video with a play button in there. Experiment. See how the data coming back on your email list compares to those that are applied for that rule. Rule number 4, segment, segment, segment. If you are emailing your list and asking them if they like the color red, and then next week you are selling the color blue and not emailing those people that said that they like the color red, you're doing it wrong. The easiest approach to segmenting is to email the maximum number of people as possible. And unless you are specifically having a group of people opting out of the thing that you are sending, you want to send emails to everyone. So try this instead. when you segment things and you know that there is a sale coming up, speak directly to that sale and give them the option to opt out of that specific promotion. Do not restrict your recipient list based on interests because you asked that they were interested in the color red. You didn't ask anything about blue. They may be interested in blue. So go ahead and send it to everyone with an opt-out list. Now I have a video which I'll link up here in a card as well as in the description below on how to do this in ConvertKit, but certainly look at your email service provider and how to do this best. And rule number 5, you have to provide value before you are allowed to sell anything. You have the most interest of someone who has subscribed to your list today. Their attention is on you right now. Their emotions are high. They feel you're the person to solve their problem and you have the solution. You are doing a massive disservice if you are not putting an offer in front of someone almost immediately. Yes, deliver value, but in that value, transition into the offer. Think about your own buying habits. If you find someone who can help you with a problem, don't you want them to tell you how they can help? Don't you want the answer? Don't you want the solution? You don't want them to talk on and on and on and on about something else. You want to know how to get the solution. Well, your subscribers are the same way. They don't need another friend. Give them the solution. So try this instead. Subtle selling in all your emails. So if you give value, use a transition that leads from the value to the offer that you have. Leave it in the comment below. I'm curious to hear which one of these 5 rules you want to break, or do you break on a consistent basis? And as I promised, I will share with you that I break number 5 the most. Yes, of course, I provide ton of value in my emails. However, they all do transition in some way, shape, or form to an offer. And I have a video right here that details exactly how I go about doing this. So until next time, when you treat your email lists like humans, amazing transformations happen.